Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Gina and I had VSG surgery on April 25th of 2022. Welcome to Thanksgiving week. The next 5 days you're going to get a recipe from me to, by the end of it, have a full-blown meal. Just a little bit of a heads up on all these recipes you're going to see throughout the next week. I've tried to cut them down as much as I can to be more berry friendly. Obviously, they're not going to be like carb-free or fat-free or anything like that. They're just better alternatives to what you might find at your normal Thanksgiving spread. So take what you'd like. I should be recording these early enough to where if you see something you like, you should have time to go get it and still make it for this year's Thanksgiving. But let's get into it. Today is day one. So in today's video, we're going to do our turkey and cranberry sauce to go with it. So I have two different cranberry sauce recipes. One I found we're going to use some fake sweetener, and then another one my lovely hairstylist sent me the recipe for that uses pineapple and Jello as like the sweetener. So we're going to taste test the two to see what comes out better. I'm sure they'll both taste fine, but it's just interesting to see, and then I'll break down the stats for everything at the end of each video as far as carbs and sugars and stuff like that goes. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to start with is brining the turkey the day before. So let's flash back in time and let's go to the kitchen. All right, welcome to the kitchen. The first thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to marinate our turkey. So I have 1.5 pounds of turkey breast tenderloins that I got at Walmart. Obviously, I'm not going to make a whole turkey for myself. I suppose if I was actually making this for Thanksgiving, I would do so, but for right now, this is going to be enough to feed me for the week. So this is what we're going to use. Let me take you down to the cutting board. I'm going to show you what else you need, and then we're going to assemble this. It should only take a couple minutes, and then tomorrow we will get it ready to go in the oven. All right, the other things we're going to need for our marinade. We're going to need some minced garlic, some thyme. I have just plain old poultry seasoning. Usually you can find this around Thanksgiving time everywhere. We're gonna use a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, pepper, obviously, salt, a little bit of olive oil, and then you're just gonna need a gallon-sized bag to put all this in to get it ready. First thing I'm gonna do is open these up and get them into the gallon Ziploc bag. And these are already pre-trimmed, so I'm not gonna cut anything off. Turkey's pretty lean anyway, so I wanna keep the fat on there. And there should be, yeah, there's two nice pieces in there. All right, let me wash up and then we'll get to dumping in here. Okay, so to our Ziploc bag, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. One teaspoon of Worcestershire, just for a little extra flavor. We'll do 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. Maybe a little more, I love garlic. Okay, then we're gonna do a teaspoon of salt. We'll start with 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning, a couple cracks of black pepper, and then just a 1/2 teaspoon of thyme, because our poultry seasoning already has a little bit, but we gotta get that good Thanksgiving flavor in there. All right, and that's basically it for the marinade. So I'm gonna zip this up, get as much air out as I can, and kind of just massage this all together till it's well mixed and everything is coated. So this is just gonna go in the fridge overnight. We're gonna let it marinate, get all those flavors in there. Now, obviously this is not let me lift you up. This is not like any different than normal Thanksgiving if you were just making cutlets by yourself. The next part that's more berry friendly is going to be the cranberry sauce, which is next. I was shocked when I looked at a can of cranberry sauce. I am a jellied cranberry sauce kind of girl, and when I looked at the back of that can to see if I could have some this year, it was like 27 grams of sugar in, I think, 1/6 of the can, which I could easily go through. So unfortunately, that is not happening this year. The cranberry sauce is probably, if one of these I like, whatever one I like the best, I'm gonna make again in 2 weeks when it's actual Thanksgiving and bring it so that I can have some sort of cranberry sauce, because that is my favorite part of Thanksgiving. So tomorrow we will get these in the oven and we'll make the cranberry sauce first thing. So I will see you tomorrow. Well, for me it's tomorrow, for you it's a second. We are back, it's the next day. The turkey's been marinating for almost 24 hours. So I have my bag. I'm gonna show you my setup for how I'm gonna roast this in the oven. All right, so I have cookie sheet, non-stick pad underneath. Don't need that, but I have it. And then I'm gonna put, this is like a cookie tray. I don't have like a normal roasting tray, but I'm gonna use this for that. It's just metal, so it's fine in the oven. Let's grab our turkey. And we will just place it on the rack. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the oven for 20 minutes to begin with. Then I will cover it with foil so it doesn't burn. I'm gonna get all that good garlic on here too. So 20 minutes foil, and then probably another 40 minutes, I think. I'll check the temperature as you go, and then we'll have some roasted turkey. So I'll get this in the oven, and then we will start on the cranberry sauces. Right, it is cranberry sauce time, so we are making 2 different kinds today. So the first one is just gonna be sweetened with the fake sweetener. The other one is going to be the one my hairstylist sent over to me, so thank you, Amber, for this recipe. I'm really excited to make it. We'll see how it goes. So for the fruit sweetened one, you need obviously a pack of cranberries. You need no sugar added pineapple tidbits. We're probably gonna only use one of these. You need a sugar-free raspberry jello. And then for the regular one, and water and stuff like that for this guy. For the sweetened one, obviously another pack of cranberries. We're gonna use Swerve, the confectioners or powdered sugar version. And orange is really for both of them. We're gonna do some orange zest in both. And then for this one specifically, we're gonna put in a little bit of orange juice just for some flavor. So this one will be chunky. This one I'm going to make a little more jellied because jellied is my personal favorite. So I'm gonna blend these together and then add the jello to see if it'll set. All right, got my saucepan. We'll dump in our cranberries. I've never made homemade cranberry sauce before, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of water, so they're kind of just floating right to the surface. And then I'm doing the recipe a little out of order because I want to add the jello right at the end, so it'll set better. I'm gonna take 2 of these little cups. I'm gonna drain the juice and dump the pineapple in. Give this a stir. And it also calls for, I think, a tablespoon of lemon juice. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that. We'll give that a stir. And we'll let this come up to a boil, and then it'll go for 15 minutes. I'm gonna flip you to the other side of the stove. Sorry for it being dirty. I'm cooking all this stuff on the same day. I'll flip you to the other side, and then we will start the other one. All right, second batch. cranberries in. Hopefully this one doesn't overflow because I don't have two of the same size pots. Another 1.5 cups of water. And then I'm just gonna bring this one up to a boil now, and then we'll add in the sweetener once I can start to mash this down. And I do have my orange. I'm just gonna lightly zest into this one. Now you could totally cut that orange and use it for the juice. I already had orange juice on hand, so I'm just gonna use like 2 splashes in that one. All right, while this one is breaking down, I'm gonna add in the powdered sugar now. I noticed in the one I added the pineapple in, it's breaking down a lot faster, so I'm not sure if that's the sugar or not. So I'm gonna start with a 1/2 cup of the Swerve, and then I wanna test it because I've never cooked anything with this before, so I'm not sure how sweet this is actually going to be. So I'm just gonna add in a little bit at a time and then whisk it in so it doesn't clump up. All right, and this one over here is actually already pretty thick, so I'm gonna kill the heat on this one. It's almost been 15 minutes over here. All right, so to this, I'm gonna use my emulsion blender to blend it up. I'm gonna add the tiniest bit more water to this just because it's already thickened up so much, and I still want the Jello to set it, so that's better. All right, so I'm gonna emulsion blend this to get all of the chunks out. All right, I'm gonna give you a closer look at this side. So it's all nice and thinned out. I didn't get every chunk, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So now to this, I'm going to add my sugar-free raspberry Jello. While I make a mess of it everywhere. It smells delicious. All right, so we have our 2 sauces, one thin, one thick and chunky. So I'm going to put these probably into 2 ball jars, and then I will show you what they look like, and we'll see how they set. And I did go ahead and add another 1/2 cup of the Swerve to this because I definitely needed it. It was way too tart with just a 1/2 cup. Let's taste this one. I guess I've never eaten cranberry sauce just straight up, like it's always on something. So the test will be later when our turkey is done. But yeah, tastes good. I can definitely taste the raspberry in it, which is not a bad thing. It's just not, you know, the norm. But it's definitely better, I think, probably to use the natural sugars. Well, I guess the Jello is not natural, but I don't know. We'll see how they set up, and then I will decide which one I like better. Okay, this is the turkey after about 40 minutes. It's so close to 165. I'm gonna throw it in for another 15 minutes, I think 10 to 15 minutes. Check the temp again. I'm gonna leave the foil off now because I do want it to get a little more crusty on top. All right, let's go over stats for day one. So turkey is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not counting any seasonings or anything like that. So just for the turkey itself, for 2 ounces, it's 55 calories, 0 carb, and 13 grams of protein. Let's get into the actual recipes we made. So for the pineapple cranberry jello sauce, the only changes I made to the recipe is I used 8 ounces of pineapple instead of the 20 that was recommended. So this made about 20 ounces total, and I weighed it out per ounce. So for every ounce you used, which is going to be a lot, you're probably not going to use an ounce of sauce. So for every 1 ounce, it's 11 calories, 2 carbs, and 0.2 protein. For the Swerve, there's a little bit of a different story. The Swerve technically is 0 net carbs. So I'm giving you both net carbs and total carbs. If you want to subtract the erythritol out, by all means do it. But I'm giving you both and you can decide what you want to count. So for this one, it made about 16 ounces. For every ounce you use, which again is going to be a lot of sauce, 6 calories, 10 regular carbs, or if you subtract the erythritol, 2 net carbs, and there's no protein. I am disheveled from cooking all day, but it's finally time for our taste test. So at the last video, so on Thursday, I'll have a video of showing you like what how I put my plate together and all that kind of stuff. But for now, we're just gonna taste test the individual things. So I've had a piece of turkey with both cranberry sauces. Turkey by itself, delicious, so good. Now I'm gonna try the cranberry sauces. I've already had it, but I'm gonna try it on camera. So this is the one with the jello in it. The one with the jello is very sweet, like sweeter than my fake sugar one. It's good, but I don't know. It's good, but I don't think I would add the jello. I don't think it needs it, or even if it does, just like a sprinkle of it, or maybe I shouldn't have used raspberry, but I felt like that was like the closest. And it didn't thicken up, like it's still, I can show you, it's still like runny, like it didn't form into a jello mold. So I don't know if because it was too hot, that's why. But the other one, the one with the fake sugar in it, is not as sweet. You still get that like tartness. So I think I like the sugar one, or the fake sugar one, a little bit better. But needless to say, I have plenty. And the recipe I read for the pineapple jello one, it says as long as you keep it in a tight container, it's good in the fridge for like 3 weeks. And Thanksgiving's in like just around 3 weeks, so I think it should be okay. If not, it also said you could freeze it, so I might freeze those, and then I don't have to remake them for Thanksgiving. I'll just bring those to Thanksgiving and everyone can try them. So overall, pretty good success. I'm glad I tried both. I could probably add pineapple into the sugar one and then not put as much fake sugar, but that'll be for next year. For now, I would say if you can get your hands on fake sugar, like the Swerve, I would do that. If you don't like the fake sugar, because not everyone likes that or sits well in their stomach, then definitely go ahead and make the pineapple sweet one. Thanks so much for watching day 1 of my Thanksgiving Bariatric series. I hope you stay tuned and come back tomorrow for day 2. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I'm always over on Instagram at gina.vsg, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.